that time of the day. I look forward to this. I hope you enjoy and learn as much from me as I do from you. And I mean that bottom of my heart. Today I want to talk to you about Credit One. And it's not Capital One. Sorry for the windedness. I did not just run a marathon, even though it sounds like it, right? But I didn't. No, seriously though. Thank you for being on here today. My pleasure. Sorry again for the windedness. I have full-blown pneumonia and widespread pneumonia in both my lungs and a pulmonary embolism, otherwise known as a blood clot, in my right lung. And 30% of people who get the blood clot they have is what my friend Bradley says. That's they don't make it. They don't wake back up. They go to sleep. That's it. So I cheated death one more time. Many more times to go. Anyway, I wanted to go over, I got a text message or an email, I can't remember what it was this morning, from a listener. And if you're on right now, I want to expand in my message back to you. And it had to do with Capital One and Credit One. And what he said was that he recently applied for what he thought was Capital One, but he got the card and it was Credit One. And there's a big difference between Capital One and Credit One. Capital One, generally speaking, is for people that have good to excellent credit. And that's why they have the best, in my opinion, the best credit card reward program on the planet for a person. You know, not business, but for person. So he applied because he got a letter in the mail. I saw the letter that someone else had uploaded to us. And the logo looks very similar to Capital One, but it's not. It's Credit One. See, Capital One, they want you to have good credit. Credit One is for people with no credit and bad credit. There's a lot of this, if you know what I mean. A lot of Skittles, or cheddar, as my friend Grant Cardone likes to say. There's a lot of cheddar dealing with people who have bad credit. Hopefully, you're not one of these people with bad credit. Hopefully, you've got in touch with my office and you're fixing it. If not, go to the website, fortresscreditpro.com. That's fortresscreditpro.com. Sign up for a free consultation. It's not going to cost you anything, right? But bad credit is a choice. You guys have been hearing me say this since I started my radio show in 2011. I bet I've said that 5,000 times, if not more. But Credit One is for people with bad credit. And there's a lot of cheddar, a lot of silver, a lot of cash, a lot of Skittles dealing with people with bad credit. In fact, Credit One just built a 150,000 square foot building just down the street from my office. And one of my guys that worked for me, he worked for the National Basketball Association for 20 years. His last job was the executive vice president of sales for the Golden State Warriors. His job was to go out and get these company sponsorships for the Warriors. And he's going to go into Credit One, not Capital One, Credit One, people with bad credit. And we're going to work out a deal to where Fortress has its own credit card for our clients. And the only way you can get this credit card is if you go through our credit repair process. And we're going to work out a deal where instead of getting the $300 excuse me, in the $500 credit limits, we're working a deal to get a $5,000 credit limit. Wouldn't that be cool? You hire us to fix your credit. We educate you on how to increase your credit score. We get you a Credit One credit card with a $5,000 credit limit right out of the gate. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, we're working on it. So the difference again with Credit One and Capital One, Credit One is for people with no credit or bad credit. They're known in the industry for that. If you happen to get one of those cards, you can sometimes, not every time, but sometimes be limited be limited on what other companies will give you a credit card because they know you had bad credit at some point. And so sometimes it can be a blessing, sometimes it can be a curse. It really just depends on what your situation is. But if you have a $5,000 credit limit, that's a blessing. If it's a $300 credit limit and you maxed it out, bad news, right? Bad news bears. You ain't going to have a good month because you ain't going to have good credit. So don't fall for this new credit card scam. They're sending the letter out as if it's credit or Capital One. It looks like Capital One. It looks like a Capital One logo. They talk about Capital One and the rewards. But here's what's going to happen. I think eventually Capital One is going to file a lawsuit against Credit One, probably for some copyright infringement or trademark infringement or something. Credit One's got a ton of money. Like I said, there's a lot of cheddar dealing with people with bad credit because they don't have any other choice. You know, a lot of times you're stuck with these bad credit cards. So what we like to do is fix your credit so you can get a good credit card so you don't have to get stuck with one of these bad credit cards. Now, if your credit is torn, is damaged, we have 5 credit cards on our website at fortresscreditpro.com/credit-cards that we can get you approved for no matter what, as long as you're not currently in bankruptcy. All right, so don't fall for the new scam, the Credit One scam, posing to be Capital One. Now, what do you do if you have one of these cards? And the person that texted me or emailed me or Facebook messaged me, hold on a second. Excuse me. What I told him, I want to know if he should cancel that card. And the answer to that question is no. You don't want to close that card because then what's going to happen is now you're going to have a credit card on your file for the next 20 years that show 1 month of activity. And now it's going to drive down your credit score because it's going to mess up your average length of history, which is 15% or the equivalent of 75 points. So if you've been victim of this Credit One game, this scam, or if you have these other credit cards, don't close them. It's only going to hurt you even more. You got to get them past 2 years, preferably 4. 90% of all late payments happen within the first 2 years. So when you first open that credit card or car loan or mortgage, you're moved from a low risk, high score bucket to a high risk bucket because the chances of you being late in the next 2 years is extremely high because 90%, a big fat 90 of all late payments happen first 2 years of you opening that card or car loan. Do you know most repossessions happen within the first 6 months? First 6 months. Cars get repoed. They get their tax return. They go from riding a bus. They get their tax return. They buy a new Ford Mustang. And a month later, it gets repoed. You don't want to play that game, right? So if you got one of these cards, you don't want to close them. Just leave it open as long as you can. Unfortunately, they're going to hit you with, there it is, man. Someone just says, dang, I just canceled my Credit One. Sorry. Nothing you can do about it now. You know, nothing you can do about it now, except for just keep rebuilding. Just keep plugging away and rebuilding. Hey, Tim. Haven't seen you on here for a long time, my brother. I don't mean to ignore everybody else. I was trying to get through that without coughing too much. But hey, don't fall victim to the scam. Credit One is not Capital One. There's a lot of cheddar, a lot of money to be made for dealing with people with bad credit. You want to stay away, far, far away from Credit One. If you got bad credit, go to the website, fortresscreditpro.com. We'll hook you up. You don't pay us until we fix your credit. We don't delete anything. Don't pay us, man. We're paid on results. Who else can say that? You know who else can say that? Realtors, Mortgage brokers, they get paid on results. Salespeople, results. None of my competitors can say that, man. None of them can say that. They want their money up front because they don't trust you. Now, why would they not trust you? Because, dude, you don't pay your bills on time. That's why you're going to hire the credit repair company. They don't believe that you've recovered. So they want their money up front. Guess what? That's illegal. It has been for a long, long time. Or they want a monthly fee and they'll work on one little item. They'll work on one item for Equifax. A couple months go by, they'll work on TransUnion. A couple months go by, they work on Experian. That way they're pulling money out of you. Pulling that cheddar. Stealing your Skittles. Fortress doesn't work that way, man. We get paid on results. We fix your credit, we bill you $100. We don't fix your credit, there's no monthly plan. No monthly payment plan. That's it. Pretty fair, isn't it? And I trust you. I'm giving you a second chance. So if you got bad credit, go to the website. Hey, you want some silver? Excuse me. Giving away a silver coin today. This one here is one of my favorite. It's just a little pirate ship. On the back, it's Liberty Mint. And I can't read it right now. I left my glasses, but it has something about Ben Franklin. There's a quote by Ben Franklin on the back about liberty. On the front, it says, honest value never fails. So if you want this baby right there, honest value never fails. Share the video, man. That's it. Share the video. We'll look through it. We throw you in a little Google Analyzer thing. It picks a number and boom, you got it. Guess who won yesterday's video for Sharon? Doris Van Hoy. Doris Van Hoy won the silver coin. So Doris, get in touch with Jason. Jason will tag you here on this video so you get notified. But Doris Van Hoy won. And we're going to be sending one of these babies, or something else if she wants, to Doris Van Hoy. If you want a chance of winning some silver, share the video. Tag a friend. Hashtag if you want. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. And I hope someday you win some of these babies and you take them to the bank.